Hello again, everybody, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Powerhouse University, where we talk about commercial real estate, entrepreneurship, and investing. I am joined again by Haskasemi, the commercial loan broker from Los Angeles. He is here with us a second time to elaborate a little bit more on commercial loans and helping us all advance in pretty much securing financing, whether it be for our business or for our commercial loan application or process rather. Thank you. So thank you, Haas, again for joining me today. How are you?
Good morning, Jackie, and everybody else. Thank you. I am doing well. I hope you're doing well.
I am.
And thank you so much for the opportunity and having me on the show.
You're welcome, and thank you for being here with me on a Saturday,
Yeah,
a
of course.
Saturday morning at that.
Of course.
I definitely appreciate you.
Of
So,
course.
before we get started, from your end, is there any important information you want to share with us as far as any changes that have happened in the market or anything that we should be aware of since the last time
Uh,
we spoke?
first, first of all, as you know, I work for Convoy Capital,
Hmm.
and so people can look me up in LinkedIn and get in touch with me at Haas at convoy-cap.com.
Hmm.
And if they go online, they can see all my information. As far as the information regarding the news, right? Is that what you
Yes.
mean? Okay. As far as the news and everything, the rates are going down. That's a good news. There are a lot of rumors compared to last time we spoke. 10-year Treasury has gone down like good 20 basis point. Right now, this morning was 4.2. But the good thing is rates are coming down. Back then, when we did apartment building was at a good 6.5 for a 5-year fix. These days, we're doing it at 5.8 to 6.1 for a 5-year fix. So even though 10-year Treasury went down a little bit, but the rates are going down effectively, and is just opening doors for all the investors to do their thing, to invest more, the economy getting better. And I don't want to play economist, but it's just getting better, and we're seeing some changes.
Okay. Which is a good thing for new people looking to enter the market and determine if this is the right time for them or not, whether to
Uh,
advance in a purchase or still wait to see if rates go down some more.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of people, I get a lot of calls that people say, "Oh, I sold a house as an investment. I want to get into apartment building, or I want to get into a retail. I want to start with the 5 units apartment building, small one. What do you recommend?" I don't have any experience, and always tell them, you know what, the same experience you have with the house and you had a tenant, you can do the same thing for a 5 unit apartment building. Start small, 5, 6 units, 7 units, and then start working your way up because that's easier to handle, to manage. You don't need to have a manager on site. You can manage it yourself. You can save like 10% by paying a management company. But when you grow bigger in the apartment building, then you can have it easily managed by an apartment building management company, and it'll be such a good, I would say, on the side income or passive income, I would say.
Hmm. Yeah. And then I know because it's easier, you have a lot of people that move towards apartments, multifamily. What are you seeing when it comes to retail and office? Are you seeing any changes there?
Unfortunately, office, I have to start with office first. No, I don't see any changes. All the banks are shying away from doing office loan
Mhm.
because vacancy rates are very high. Before we used to do 5% vacancy, it moved to 10%. Right now, vacancies are at 25 to 35 to 40% vacancy, and not too many people qualify unless office buildings are like they have major or anchor tenants that they're occupying the entire office, or they're big buildings. Other than that, small offices, they're having hard time, and that's why investors are shying away from investing in office building. And banks, even the hard money lenders, when we call for office building hard money or private money, they'll say, "Oh, for now, we put it on hold, and we don't want to lend on office building." But as far as retail, retail is still good as long as we don't have that much vacancy. And if you have a retail with three stores, of course, one store, somebody's gone, one tenant is gone, you have 33% vacancy. But if you have a retail with 10, 15, 20 tenants, one is gone, it's not going to hurt you that much. And that's how the lenders are looking at, and that's how they do it. But the most and the best and the safest, from my point of view, as somebody who's been in the business for many years, and help the investors and help the apartment building owners, I see apartment is the safest because something goes wrong, you lower the rent for $100, all of a sudden you can fill it up, and or you can just offer 1 month for free rent. Of course, you can do the same thing in the apartment in the retail too, but it's not as much because in the retail there is a thing in among commercial brokers. They say every time a retail tenant goes out, for every store you have to wait 10 months before you can fill it in.
Yes, which with me working in
Of
commercial real
course.
estate as a property manager, specifically retail,
That's
you
how I
know,
got to know you.
that's the industry I tend to back up and, like, hold on, retail safe too, but and at this very moment in time is not necessarily safe. It's definitely a gamble, as is any investment you choose to go into, whether it be multifamily, office, industrial, retail, et cetera, et cetera. And then especially right now in looking at the market and seeing how we have I believe the last number was about 3,200 big box stores, from Big Lots to who else, 99-cent store. These are
99 cents.
all, unfortunately they're closing right now.
Closing. Wow.
Yes, which is opportunity to possibly repurpose, rezone, or try to make a couple of changes to certain properties and maybe downsize and split up the units. You never know.
Right.
And then of course with Dollar Tree taking over some of those locations. So, it's with interest rates and everything else going on, especially in the Los Angeles market, is definitely an opportunity to, see what landlords are willing to do, see what banks are willing to do, see what, brokers are willing to do as far as um business loans,
Right.
and investing and seeing if we have new opportunities available to individuals for the current market that we're in. And then which brings me to the first question I actually had for you after
Of
all of
course.
that, the first question. So the first question I actually had for you is, how do you recommend someone stay updated on the changes in commercial lending regulations and determine the best time to apply for a loan?
Okay. There are a couple of elements into that question. Number one is just by going online. I always tell the investors, educate yourself, go online or call me if you have any question. There are multiple sites. You go and you just put commercial lending news, commercial interest rate. It comes up numerous like bankrates.com, commerciallending.com, morningbrew.com. It tells you the 10-year treasury. It tells you all the rates and everything, very current. Then what is the best? Is it going up? Is it going down? And it gives you a graph, indices or a graph that it's been down, it's going up, and it tells you, where you are, where the interest rate is, as far as you have to move towards buying it or not buying it. But there are certain people that either they are 1031 exchange and they have no choice. They have to buy it, whether the interest rate is high or low. I get a lot of calls. Oh, I sold my business and I need to buy another one. So regardless, a gas station loan is got to be right now from anywhere from 9.5 to 11% on an SBA loan. So what choice do you have? You can't do anything about it. You have to buy it. But if it's the right timing, if you want to invest, sometimes, in my opinion, it's better to do it in a high interest time than not doing it. And the reason I'm saying this is because if you don't do that and if you wait for the right opportunity, interest will go down, this will go down. Yes, it might go down and the demand will go up and the property value will go up. And then you will lose on the other side. So if you want to do it, don't worry about the interest a little, as long as you can make the payment and you cash flow and it doesn't hurt you financially. Go ahead and do it because you will build. In California, we're equity state. We are growth. You buy a property next year, this time, you have $100,000 equity on that. Any kind of property, whether it's a house, apartment building, shopping center, whatever it is, except office building for these days. But if you buy this in Midwest in America, yes, you might have a good cash flow from day one, but 3 years down the road, if you want to sell it, you might sell it for the same price you bought it. So it's very challenging, but my recommendation is keep yourself updated on the rates, but don't think too far ahead because, in my opinion, you will save on the interest rate, but you will lose equity. The price will go up. The rate, the all the activities that you see, supply and demand, it will just change the whole thing, and all of a sudden, you see, you lost the opportunity.
Can you tell me you use the term equity state. Can you define to me what that is?
In California, you see the cap rates. You're a master in this. All
Mm-hmm.
the commercial, yeah, real estate that you've been doing for such a long time. On the cap rates, you see caps are 4.5. Sometimes I'll look at CoStar or LoopNet. I see 3.5,
Mm-hmm.
and that's terrible. You have to buy something and sit on it with the hope of one day your cap is going to be 5%. Versus if you go to Oklahoma, Ohio, Alabama, the states that you can invest and you buy something. I found one property in Alabama, and I'm not kidding, 72 units for 795,000. Apartment building. Yes, it had some deferred maintenance. It needed some TLC, but at same 72 units in California, it's got to be, God knows, $20 million. Yeah,
Yes, through the roof.
to the roof. But the same apartment building in 5 years down the road, probably you're going to sell it for 820,000. But over here, if you buy it for 20 million, in no time you can sell it for 30 million, for 25 million. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what I mean by equity state. You buy something on certain areas that it has more growth. Uh,
Increase is
it
pretty much
increases uh,
instant.
Santa Monica, for example. And I don't mean to mention areas because it doesn't matter where you buy, it's going to increase. But some areas increase because of supply and demand. It increases fast.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for
Of
helping
course.
us with that. I know some of the other viewers are probably like, what's an equity state? So you explained that nicely. I appreciate you for that.
Of course.
Yeah. So the second question I have for you is currently, what are the common challenges borrowers are facing in securing commercial loans and how do we overcome them?
I would say, the most important thing is right now, these days we're facing, it's loan to value, Jackie. Before, easily, back in, I would say from up to 2007 and 8, 75% was no problem. Apartment building, 75%, in some occasions, 80%. And then after that, all of a sudden, now, if we do 65%, we are lucky. And the investor is lucky. the loan to value, and why is the loan value debt coverage ratio is still the same, 120. But why is it? The property tax, the insurance. Insurance used to be $50 per door on the apartment building. Now it's $200 per door. And again, I don't want to speak as an insurance agent because it's not my specialty, but from what I see from the clients, that they say, "Oh my God, I was paying for the insurance 1,000 a year. Now I'm paying 4,000 a year." So all the those things, they help. Trash used to be $90 back in 2014 for a 12 by 10 bin. Now it's $280. So these, they cut into your profits, and when you have lower profit, obviously a bank wants to make sure that you have the ability to pay, and they have to lower your loan to value. And those are the challenges that a lot of people, they get into. Oh, I can buy it 70, 75%. Yes, lenders, bankers, mortgage brokers, they all say, oh, 75%. Yes, but debt coverage ratio should be 120. And then these days in California, for 120, hardly ever, unless you find some property, it says cap is 8, which I doubt if you can find it, because if you do, give me a call, I'll buy it myself. Other than that, 70% is not going to happen.
Mhm.
A lot of times, buyer calls and say, if we do 65%, I'm okay. When we calculate, we see with all after taxes and everything, because the previous owner bought it and his tax is, let's say, 2,000 a month. All of a sudden, he's buying for 4 million, and his tax is 4,000 a month. And this is a huge difference. And he doesn't consider that. And all of a sudden, we have 55% LTV rather than
Mhm.
65% LTV. So either they have to come up with out of their pocket extra, and or the deal goes sour on these cases.
Yes. And then to deviate a little bit from loan to actually being on the commercial property management side where I'm at, and elaborating a little bit on what you said about insurance rates and pretty much the cost to maintain the property is going up, because a property that I manage myself, the insurance was probably about 17K, and we get the insurance premium or the policy, and we're looking at about 140K, and those are passed down to the tenant. So when they're getting the charges, they're like, what is this? And we have to explain to them that this is not something that the landlord is doing to get a payday, so to
Mm.
speak, but all the increases are being passed down to the tenants, which is making it a little bit challenging, especially for like mom and pop owners, or anyone rather just looking to keep up, especially with the changes in the market again. And we have restaurant closures, we have big box closures, we have a lot of things in the market today that we're concerned about, and really trying to figure out how to move with it, and so everybody could pretty much end up on top. So it's pretty much a gamble. No matter when you come in and where you come in, it's always competition. You're
It is.
competing with people that can either afford to come in to the market
Yeah.
with the interest rates being where they are, or people that are pretty much forced to wait because of the interest rates being where they are. So it's all about where you stand with it, and what you have to work with, and your flexibility. So we're seeing it on both ends, from the loan side and from the tenant side, at least on my end, from owners and small mom and pop retail stores, et cetera, et cetera. Um, so with that said, the next question I had for you is, what advice do you have for managing a commercial loan effectively to ensure long-term financial success?
Yeah. That financial success, managing a loan is, to be honest with you, it's something that you have to find the right rates. If you cannot find a good rate, sometimes a quarter point in a $5 million loan all of a sudden is a huge payment, monthly payment, extra monthly payment, and that little 25 or half a point extra or lower rates, it will make a difference. Now, some people, seasoned investors, they have a relationship with their own banks, and they go, even though you have a good relationship with the bank, sometimes the bank say, because every customer has a ceiling with every bank. When you go to a bank and you buy some, you get some loan for a property, after a certain amount, some banks 2 million, some banks 5 million, some banks 10 million. And then when you buy more, right now, as we speak, I have a client that he has a great rate with one bank, and the bank says, I cannot give you any more until you pay this one off. So he's buying another one, and he has to go somewhere else. Now he is calling around to see if he can find somebody. And finally, he called me. He said, why don't you shop around for me and find the best rate? Of course, these are the challenges that either you have time, you want to go from bank to bank to bank, or you just have a relationship with one bank. But even though having a relationship with one bank, or because you have 5 properties with that, they may not insure you, they may not actually give you any loan anymore, because they say your ceiling is complete until you pay it down. So now you have to go to somebody, and I'm not saying me, I'm saying somebody that you have it on your team, some mortgage broker, trusted mortgage broker, somebody, a property manager. Property managers are a great source of knowing who goes where, and recommend somebody trustworthy that, hey, talk to this person before anything else. Get a feeling. See if he can come up with the rate. He can plan something for you. Many times somebody calls me and says, I have 2 years to go or year and a half to go, and I'm getting nervous. I want to lower that. I say, we can do that 3 months in advance. You don't have to start doing it. Enjoy, try to enjoy the low rate that you have. Why do you want to change it and pay all that cost? Wait. You don't want to lock yourself to a 6.5 rate, and all of a sudden rates go down. Let's wait till the last minute, 3 months before. We'll start shopping around, and we'll try to close on your due date. So do not do that. So these are the things that somebody has to guide you through, give you the right advice that what are we doing, and what are the best steps to do that. And it is very important, in my opinion.
Yes, I totally agree. And then that leads me right into the next question I had for you is what are some common mistakes you see borrowers make and how do they avoid them?
Yeah, common mistakes that I've seen: when they buy a property, they wait till the last minute to buy the insurance. When the loan is going through, and they'll say, we have time. These days, you see insurance companies, many of them, especially the major ones, they don't write apartment building, they don't write shopping centers, they don't write businesses. And I know State Farm is one of them. They say, oh, you know what, we don't write apartment building anymore. Farmers doesn't. Different companies don't do that. So find the insurance company from day one. When you get the loan, have it ready. It's not going to cost you anything. Call around, call your insurance agent, have the insurance ready. I have seen many times the loan is on hold because they can't find the insurance. Many times brokers, they call me, the commercial realtors, and they say, do you have any insurance company that they can do it right away? We need insurance for this property that we are closing. Everything is ready to close, but we can't. So that's number one that I see the mistake people do. But as far as the loans, they uh, are not the ones that they're not sophisticated enough. They sometimes they rush, and they don't. When they go to First Bank and they see the rate is 6.75, for example, they say, "Oh, this is a good one. Let me not lose the chance," and they don't shop around. You need to do the shop around. That's the most important thing. Uh, it- Whether you do it yourself if you have time, or you do it through a broker. But that's the most important thing. That one little thing, it will cost you $500 a month extra payments if you don't shop around. And the fees, all those fees that a mortgage broker can negotiate for you, can do a lot of good things. And because mortgage broker, they work with many lenders day in, day out, they know how to package, they know how to explain things. I remember a lady, I'm going to say this very shortly. A lady called me and she said she had two multifamily, 8 unit and 10 unit in somewhere in Southern California. And she said, I want you to go somewhere, take it somewhere, whatever you want, except this bank, because I got denied with this bank. I said, go in and send me the letter. After she sent me the letter, I called the underwriter. I said, why did you deny this loan? She said, the underwriter said, because the expenses were too high. When I looked at the expenses, when I looked at the income and expense statement, I saw she changed the roof. She put it under expense rather than capital improvement. She changed the air condition. She put it under, these are one-time expense. This is not supposed to be on the expense. These are supposed to be on the capital improvement. And underwriter calculated it without questioning it. And they said, oh, this building is not making enough money. I took it to the same bank. The only thing we just explained to the underwriter that these are capital improvements. We changed the whole thing. I asked the property owner, change it and put it in the proper manner. And we sent it and we got it both approved. The same bank that they denied it. So don't get frustrated. Don't think that it is because we didn't do it, we can't, because you couldn't do it, we can't do it. Give us a chance. Give your mortgage broker, whoever it is, a chance. Let him do the work. Let him shop around, and I'm sure they can find the right lender for you.
I appreciate you for all that good
Oh,
information.
my pleasure.
You know, which opens up the floor again for more questions to follow, because you every time we go further, you say things that in my head I have to make a mental note of, because I'm like, I have a question on that. I have a question on that. But I try to squeeze it in as little time as possible. So thank you again for
Of
being
course,
here with me today. I appreciate you.
my
So
pleasure.
you're
Thank you for
welcome. You're welcome.
having me.
So we have about give or take another 2.5 minutes left here. Was there
Hmm?
anything you wanted to leave the audience with?
Yeah, if you ever have any question, you want to get a second opinion on the rates, or if you want me to send you my rate sheet, either call me at 818-645-2746, or look me up on the LinkedIn, Haas Gassemi, or send me an email, haas at convoy-cap.com, or contact Jackie, and she'll put you in contact with me. I'll send you my rate sheet. There is no obligation. I don't bombard you with the rate sheet every day, every week. Every time rate changes, I send the rate sheet and you can look at it and see if you like it. I sent a rate the other day for a group rate. I sent it rate sheet, and one guy called me back. He said, "I never saw you offer equity line of credit while I can keep my first. I never saw this part." I said, it's right there on the rate sheet. You never paid attention. He said, you need to send more of these rate sheets on a weekly basis. I said, I usually like to send it every time rates change. But he said, no, please send it to me every week. So if you like that, if you like to have a rate sheet, give me a call or send me an email. I'll put you on my rate sheet, and I'll be happy to do that.
And there you have it, everybody. Thank you again for joining us
Mm.
on another episode of Powerhouse You. And you can catch both Haas and myself on LinkedIn. You can connect with either one of us. Our contact information will be included in the YouTube video. All right. Well, thank you again, Haas.
Thank you so much.
Everybody, you're welcome. You guys have a
You
good
have a good
day.
one. Bye bye.
Bye.